let's call this meeting to order. This meeting, all the meetings of the committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the press in accordance with Wisconsin statutes. The citizen may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of the meeting. Roll call.
Gunderson,
Here.
Gage,
Here.
Lidke.
Here.
All right. Need a motion to approve the minutes from the August 1st, 2016 meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes, August 1st, 2016 meeting.
A second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. No citizens' appearances. So next is discussion and possible action on the senior meal site contract.
Have a copy of that, which I will zoom to on here. It is a 2-page document. It's the signatures on the second page. If you can read that. Agreement between Weyauwega County Department of Health and Human Services and the City of Weyauwega. This is obviously for the senior meal program, which we have been targeting as a tenant for the community room. We have had some back and forth discussion with staff with Department of Health and Human Services. Chuck Price was out here, toured the site a couple times. And his staff have been out here. They're impressed with it. The comment they made was that this is immediately the nicest site that they have in the county, which is a good thing, but you would hope that it was because it's brand new. A lot of this language is pretty standard. It's a lot of the standard language that they use for all of their sites. One of the main differences relates to rent. Now, the rent standard across the board for all of their sites is $219 a month, except somehow the Weyauwega site, when they moved to the Presbyterian Church, got to $350 a month. Now, at first, the discussion was that somehow that might have been a mistake on somebody's end way back when, and it's only a couple years ago. It's not way back when. It feels like it, but one of the things, the comments that I had was they didn't tell us they had a standard rate when we started the discussion. And so knowing that the church was getting $350 a month, I said, well, respectfully, our site is a lot nicer in that it's brand new, we've got the TVs, it's gonna be dedicated to that use during the time that they need it. You know, we used to have voting in the Presbyterian Church while the meals were going on, and they'd have other events too. That storage room has been equipped with some extra outlets so that they can move their desk. It's got internet and phone hookup into that office there, so they have more of a private space. I think they're working out of like an armoire, something like that at the Presbyterian Church. And so the discussion that we had with them is that I felt that the rent should be at least as much as they're paying now. We told them that there would be no doubt that there would be a discounted rate over our regular rental rates. I think our regular rental rates it's $20 an hour, $80 for the day. We told them that for certain there would be a discount. And after some back and forth, the number that they settled on is that they felt that they'd be comfortable paying the $350 a month. One of the comments they made was that the program relies on donations and other revenues. It's sort of a self-sustaining program. It's not like the county is funding a lot of money here. And on the other hand, we had expressed to the county that the city didn't really have an interest in making money on this because of the expense that we've taken on to build it, to get the dishwasher, the fridge, the stove. We're in the $9,500 range in costs just to set it up with what they need. So $350 a month ends up being I believe that's a little over $4,000 per year in rental revenue. We have some highlighted sections of the most recent updated sections. This has been reviewed by the county's Corporation Counsel. Jim Kelly reviewed it. A couple comments that our attorney has. One of them is in that first highlighted section. There's no expectation that the community room is available to the program when the city building is closed. For example, on legal holidays for during inclement weather. We don't really close during inclement weather, so one of the comments that Jim Kelly had was, do you want to further define that? I think it's going to be common sense that if the county doesn't want to run their program, I mean, mean, that's up to them.
Right.
We're gonna be here no matter
They're the
what,
first ones.
so,
Well, but you never know.
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could have another shear wind or something like that, and I mean, I would leave it in because
Right,
Or
well, we'll
some
leave
sort
it
of-
for sure, it's just, does inclement weather need to be further defined, and I don't
don't think
see a
so.
benefit to us at all for that, you know. We then, out of the $350, we would agree to assume the responsibility for utilities. Now, the only hang up there is all utilities, the county is looking at paying for the phone. The heat and air conditioning, there's not really a way for us to split that off and meter it separately, cause it's just one. I mean, we've got multiple zone systems, but we're paying for it for the building anyway, so we figured we'd include that.
Yeah.
Upkeep and repairs, well, obviously it's our building, if there's repairs that need to be made, we'll get it. Yard care, well, the yard care would be our parking lot. Snow removal, garbage removal, the snow removal is already ours. An interesting item that I will say on the record and hope that it doesn't increase our costs, but when we moved back to this building, we asked for an additional garbage can from Gratian. They brought us an extra one, so we have two, and we're still paying the same rate we were before. So the hope and the thought is that if we need to get additional cans, that service is gonna stay the same in price, so I'll knock on wood on that. And then the internet fees, the internet is being paid for the whole building. And so what we had wired their room up for is they can tap into that internet, not into our network, but
Right.
they can get the internet.
right.
And then if they pay for the phone, they're requiring a landline, and if that's what they want, they can get that. But
So
they're responsible for the phone.
should that be amended then to say all utilities unless otherwise noted?
Yes, yeah, I think that would be fair. Okay. There's a note on there that Weyauwega County will provide certificate of liability and property damage insurance coverage, naming us as an additional insured. Minimum limit of $1 million for purpose of liability and property damage or injury. So they're insuring their program. We get down to that fourth paragraph, I won't read it all, but it basically says that Weyauwega County is gonna agree to provide their steam table, their dishes, their consumables, computers, furniture, office furniture, everything they need to run their program, they're gonna provide. The city of Weyauwega agrees to provide a refrigerator, a deep freezer, which we actually took out of that house by the dam that we bought. There's a chest freezer that we have there
Okay.
that we're borrowing to the fire department right now. But when this program moves in, we would have that chest freezer, so that's something that we didn't have to pay for, or we paid for the house, got a
Right.
freezer out of it, so. But all of our equipment, everything that we buy is gonna remain our property, just like everything that they buy for their programs is gonna remain their property. And then down at the bottom, we're talking about a term of the agreement, and more specifically a start date. I would anticipate that if this agreement gets approved, we would have it approved next Monday night at the council. The county has to give a 30-day notice to the Presbyterian Church with a week or two for their approvals. And so what we're aiming for right now is that the rent will start November 1st. The program may not be in here on November 1st, but they're gonna start their rent. So for this year, we're going to get $700 in rent. And then from there, it just says that the agreement will renew on an annual basis unless one party provides the other party notice of non-renewal, and there's a couple spelling things we gotta fix in there.
Yeah.
And if either one of us would non-renew, we have to let them know on or before November 1st. And there's a language thing that needs to be changed there for the following year. So by November 1st, we have a deadline to either non-renew either one of us, but the expectation is that we're going to be, we built this, we'd like to have them as a tenant to have that service here, and that's what we're hoping for. And early termination, that's a piece that I think we probably don't need because it's already suggesting that in 2016, maybe they could give a 20-day notice if they wanted to terminate our contract, or either one of us could. Starting in 2017 then, either party may terminate the agreement by giving 30 days notice in writing to the other. This section here on some level sort of conflicts with the first paragraph that says by November 1st let us know if you're going to be in for the next year. So one of the questions that I had for the county was clarify that. Do you want 30-day notice or are you locking in for a full year? I'm waiting for an answer back from them on that. And then modification, either party may seek to modify the contract with the agreement of the other party. And then that entirety of the contract sets forth the complete agreement of the parties. So with that, pretty much this is a standard agreement that they use. The benefit we are getting is that they're going to pay us $350 a month in rent, which is more than what the so-called standard rate is for every other site. That pretty much covers it. I mean, do you guys have any questions at all?
Sooner we get them in there, the better.
Yeah.
How many people do they feed there?
Right now it's, so the Meals on Wheels program is coordinated sort of out of that office too. I don't know how many people they deliver to, but it's just a handful that come to this site. I know Jerry once in a while will stop in and have lunch there. I had lunch there for the first time a couple weeks ago.
I think you're probably gonna get a few more coming here now, because easy access for them, good parking, all that.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. And to be politically and religiously correct,
Right.
there's this sense that when we had the voting there, that maybe some people stayed away because of their religion, didn't want to go into there, and I don't know that for a fact, but I know that there's some concern with the senior meals too, that some people thought, well, I don't belong to that church, so maybe
Oh,
Right.
we'll go there. So getting it out here, we've got voting here now, we'll have the meals here too, and it's just a nicer setup, I think.
I had 3 people saying the last 6 weeks, asked me about just what he said. He says, when are you gonna start that so I can start going? I said, well, it was never shut off, it's over at the Presbyterian Church. I said, oh, I can't go there, that's not our church.
Yeah.
I just wonder how many,
I think there's quite a few of them.
I wonder how many of them are out there thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
so should I make a motion for this?
Yeah.
Possible act, make a motion of possible action, the senior meals site act contract.
Second.
With noted changes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
On a lighter note before you go, I gotta tell you this because it was funny, the last county board meeting, I got jumped by about 6 board members about this, here's what we're talking about. What kind of Taj Mahal you guys think you got there? And I said, well, I don't know, we're pretty proud of it, you know. He says, you want $1,800 a month? I says, no, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's what the committee said, you guys are gonna charge $1,800 a month for that. I said, where did you get that? I said, we've never ever, even Bill Jolin come up, he says, oh my God, you think that damn thing is made out of gold? I said, Bill, where'd you get that? Well, it was at the committee meeting, they were discussing it, because they're looking for another place. I said, where did that come up? Well, apparently one of them, I don't know who, walked in here and asked to look the place over, and off, didn't say who he was or anything. I said, what do you get for this? Well, $80 a day. So he walked out thinking,
Calculator and add.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna pay the full rate.
Yep.
Part of that too is, I believe the first draft of that committee, what the county asked for, the staff said, can you get some pictures of the space? And that's what we sent, and then later we heard that, well, then they were talking about rent. We never had a dollar amount back then. The one amount that we did throw out, when I said, well, this is better than the church, I think, we were like, well, are we at 500 a month? I mean, are we in the ballpark anywhere? And so the highest number we even discussed was 500, and
yeah.
that's even a far cry from
I just thought it was kinda
1,800.
fun.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
Did they say they pay it?
That's right.
They just-
Apparently not.
All right.
Good, thank you.
All right. Discussion on future events.
So, for the last year, or maybe the last 2 years, we usually had like a standing event, or a standing item on this to
Yep.
talk about events. I don't have too much to talk about tonight, but I do know that at the last meeting under such other matters, Mr. Stelzner had asked to add this to talk about a new city event. Now, I haven't been in touch with him to find out what that might be.
Yeah,
I don't know that anyone has,
no,
and he's tied up with work, so.
He wants to start a cheese fest here,
Oh. It's interesting.
so that's, I don't know all the details, but
Okay.
That would be interesting.
he's talked to a lot of the cheese places around here and have, so
Okay.
that's all I know is
That's good too.
cheese fest.
no.
So,
Okay.
All right, administrators report.
Just a couple things. Mr. Potratz is coaching tonight, and so we will hold off a little bit of a review on the financials for the swim lake for this year. We're thinking that's going to be in October. We'll get all that stuff reported out to you guys. The other item we have is this paper copy, and I think we had this in the packet, but it's our outdoor recreation plan that we had talked
Yep.
about a few months ago. And when I talked with Nick, as the chair of the committee, I talked about working with Jessica from UW Extension. And I was in touch with Jessica. She was unable to make it tonight, but she had said that if the committee wants to look at updating the plan we have now, so specifically reading through this, and if there's dollar amounts or projects that maybe we want to tweak, but still keep sort of the same form, so it's an update, she would have no problem working on that. She also has what she referred to as a really good friend that just started with the East Central Wisconsin Planning Commission, who is into the technical aspect of if we would want to recreate this document rather than update it. So if we wanted a full-blown review, that could be somebody that could be more in line to help us out too. So I talked to Nick about that, and I think the thought has been that we'd like to just do an update if nothing else. And so
Right.
Jessica would be willing and interested to do that. She can make it if you do keep your meeting on the second Tuesday, so on October 11th, she can make that. She's already got it plugged into her schedule. But what she did ask is that the committee members do a little bit of homework and reread. It's about a 25-page plan. And if you have thoughts on projects that are in here that didn't get done, or projects that need to get done that aren't in here, if you want to take some notes or your thoughts, and then be prepared to discuss those in October, if that's appropriate.
I can get one of them.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
a couple extra copies here too, so. And we'll make sure, I don't know if it's, I think it's on the Google Drive, but we can make sure we get it on its own, sent
Yep.
over to you guys too. So that'll be in October, if that's okay.
That's okay with everybody? I just figure we should start with an update first, and then if it appears that we're changing a whole lot, then maybe we can make a whole new one, but
Right.
I would rather not spend that money unless we know we're really gonna get something out of it.
Yeah. And one of the goals is that you're supposed to be within 5 years to be considered current, and so an update can get this document current, so that if we would go for DNR grant funding for recreation parks, that we would meet one of the criteria by just getting an update done too. Okay,
All right,
that's all I've got.
that's it.
Yep.
I got a question, and I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody here, maybe Nick can. At one time, when, maybe Jerry can help me, there was a lot of kids with skateboards. And there was a proposed skateboard ramp, park, whatever.
Mhm.
Gonna go theoretically, but a basketball or tennis court in the park, in Mosh Park, down below the bottom one. And it got into minutes, and that's when Sherry was here, that's before your time. But anyway, the couple of the parents involved started a fundraiser, and they had bought sales by IGA, they had during horse and buggy days, I think it was, they had the dunk tank up here, and they did turn in pretty good sum of money. And I don't know if that's either here or there, but in the last couple of months, I've got two of them mothers, not upset about it, but just curious, say, hey, whatever happened to that money we gave?
We have to track that down.
I don't know if you can track it down or not, but
I think we should be able to, but what we may have to look back is in the minutes, if there's some kind of a reference to
Yeah,
money
it's,
coming in,
uh,
that'll help narrow down the year anyway.
I ain't sure how long, it's
Right.
8 years anyway, I would think, maybe
think-
10 years.
Yeah, then when it started, and I believe that while I was off council, that group, because their kids graduated and
Yeah, kids
it's- the whole thing's just fizzled out and,
Yeah, it's,
you know, and they never,
We did have it in the CIP to complete that.
yep,
they were just curious, so there
Curious
was,
what happened.
there
And
was
it's-
no complaint or anything, they just said, you ever figure out whatever happened to our money that we, and they did give quite a bit, a couple times, they gave
Yeah,
a
we
couple
take a look
$100
at
a
tracking it down.
shot, you know,
Yeah.
but, anyways, if you could find it,
Yeah, we'll take a look for it.
yeah. They ain't looking for nothing other than say, hey, got washed into the swimming pool fund or something, as long as they got an answer where it went.
right. Well, they're entitled to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anything else? Any other such
Yeah,
matters?
this, tennis court down by the library. Anybody ever see anybody using that?
Yeah.
Oh God, every morning.
There's
Yeah.
a lot
Oh, yeah.
of cracks in there, ain't there? You walk by there lately?
Yeah, we
Should
were
that be
just,
kinda fixed a little bit?
well, it was just
They're running
resurfaced the other year, wasn't
Yeah, it
it?
was surfaced not
Was
too
it?
long ago.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just the outside edges, I just walk by
Yeah.
there
It gets used though,
it does.
it's
and
free.
early in the morning.
And
Yeah.
what if you think about making that into an ice skating rink like it used to be?
On
In the wintertime, they used to ice skate down here. The fire department used to flood it. They'd
Okay.
ice skate here. They'd have a little booth for changing your shoes. And then when they moved it down to the park, seems like nobody would ever go down there. I mean, it's a long walk for the kids. And there's lights and everything up here, so I think it'd be a good spot to have the ice skating rink again. You know, turn the lights on, the kids can skate.
It could be. The big thing might be, you wanna take a look at the condition of that tennis court. I haven't been, usually when I drive by, I'll see people early in the morning, you'll see probably both courts going, 4
Yeah.
people will be there. The only concern I might have, and you might even have some expertise on it too, is whatever that surface is, if it's cracking and that, should we be covering it with water and
And
freezing
freezing
it
it.
over in the winter? And
Refreezing it.
maybe it's not a big deal, but I'd have a concern about that.
Yeah.
But we take a look at it though.
I actually think you can get a preformed
Liner.
liner
Liner put on.
that's got the edge around and everything. You could
Yeah.
probably look up on some park and rec type
Well,
stuff.
you might have to anyway, because
Yeah.
the water's not designed to stay on it.
Right, you,
Right.
Anyway.
I'm sure you'd have to do something
I
like
think
that.
that's what it is, you get a preformed liner and then it's got an edge around it so that you can fill it with water.
All you do is fill that with water and that
Yeah.
freezes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Be something to look into.
Yeah. If lights are up there, that'd be,
yep. Okay.
Anything else? Well, then I guess I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
A motion is second, all in favor?
Alright?
Aye. We're adjourned.
6:57.